Hi everyone, welcome into another episode of Who Should You Choose, the video series where I go through the prior videos, questions, and comments, help you with your HUT lineup decisions. We are getting towards the end of the game. We're getting near team of the season. I'll see if there's any questions in here. This one was a couple of days old. I do apologize. But let's get into today's comments. And again, if you want your question answered in the next video, make sure you subscribe with notifications on, as it is the best chance to get your question answered. As well, if I don't get to it in the video, come check me out live on Twitch. I go live almost every single day at 2 p.m. Eastern. So here we go. Let's get into it. We'll start. Here we go. It's sad EA has way more workers than MLB and can never make a good game. That is simply because 80% or roughly of EA's sports' revenue is made up by FIFA. So their workforce is probably 50 times the size of San Diego Studios, but San Diego Studios has one game, or at least its main focus is MLB The Show. And EA has, EA Sports has, PGA, Madden, FIFA, NHL, UFC, and now NCAA. So that's 6 right there. And then they also, I think, help produce that rally racing game as well. So that is why. How to make theme teams. Use FIFA Chem system. We would keep all of these boring meta teams to a minimum. So this was in the last episode. We talked about how to make theme teams more useful, bring back the chemistry system. I'm not really familiar with FIFA. It's like the one game I really don't like to play. I'm just not a big soccer fan. That said, the chemistry system, I'm assuming it's not the same as what it was like in HUT back in before NHL 16. I would love to see something like what it sucks because MLB, they released captain cards, and captains in baseball is not nearly as frequent or as important in hockey. But what they did was they released captain cards where if you met a prerequisite, so if you had, let's say, a pitcher, a starting pitcher, and you had 8 total pitchers in your pitching staff from that team, it activated like boosts for the entire pitching staff. And they got higher, like 4 would be the first threshold, and then you would get an additional 5 to certain attributes with 10 and so forth. I would love to see something like that. It's tough because I don't think it should be overalls, but for example, let's say Alexander Ovechkin. Okay, he's your captain card, okay, for the Washington Capitals. If you have, let's say, 4 Washington Capitals, your team shooting goes up by +3. So every card on your team gets +3 to shooting. If you have 10 Washington Capitals, it goes up by 5, and then maybe 7 if you have, something like that. That'd be pretty cool. Any tips on winning face-offs? I cannot win a face-off to save my life. So I have a face-off video from NHL 23. Go and watch that. It goes over everything. Nothing has changed other than fatigue playing into it. So if your player is less than 50% energy when you line up for the draw, he will put his stick down second no matter what. And that does play into the fact if you can win or not. You can still win if you do the counter, but if any tie-up or anything will go to the other player because putting your stick down first gives you a slight advantage. If E-Bomb says, if EA won't spice up squad battles for us, can they at least have it so the format isn't set up so that one drop in connection at the wrong time doesn't ruin your entire week of rewards? It's infuriating. 100%. This is a flawed system, and it needs to be overhauled. 100% agree. Suzuki's X Factor is sneaky good. 99 face-offs with gold quick draw after his recent upgrade. 100%. It's not even sneaky anymore. He's popping off. He's almost at 99. I've been saying this. I said this back at the launch of the fantasy event. You should have held on to any of the fantasy cards that had a master set player or any player. Hurdle was a good one, but obviously injuries. You can't do anything about injuries, right? Not performing is a bad call, but injuries is like that. That's just something you got to deal with. So like Doughty and Suzuki were easy keeps. Who should be in my top 3 centers and who goes to the wing? Team of the Year, McDavid, Mario, Barzal, Crosby, McKinnon. I like the reply here. You need Matthews for center 1. Correct. Put Matthews there. Your other centers should be Mario and then Crosby. The other cards are better on the wings. Sleeves. I don't know if I don't know. Sleeves. I know I've asked this many times, but is this goalie all-star theory confirmed by the devs? Yes. So if you realize, or if you notice in HUT Rush, or if you are playing squad battles and you are on rookie mode and the goalies stop everything, It was an intended thing to make all of the goaltenders in every mode, regardless of the difficulty that you've chosen, the goaltender stays on All-Star. The thought process, from my understanding, was this teaches people to score on All-Star, which is what they are set to when you play online. So if you can score offline, it allows the casual players to get used to scoring on All-Star goalies, and then you can do it online. I get the thought process of it. Terrible execution. It's not fun. If you have someone who has never played the game and they are on rookie, they can't score. So like you're just hurting your new player base. Rank these 5 centers. Team of the year: McDavid, Larkin, Suzuki, Matthews, Gretzky. Matthews is Team of the year: McDavid is number 1, but he should be on the wing. So I'm going to say Matthews, then Gretzky. No. Matthews, then Suzuki, then Gretzky, then Larkin. McDavid goes to the wing. How does Team of the Season work? Do you turn in the current highest rated card of a player for a boost towards their skill set, kind of like Team of the Year's and X Factors? I'm a big Kaprizov fan. I have his X Factor 89. Do I upgrade his X Factor to 93 or build his Elite MSP all the way up to 93? Seems like the Elite MSP has better stats. If you are a Kaprizov fan and you are going to play the rest of the year, I would just do his X Factor because he's probably going to get a Team of the Year card, and then you can upgrade, or Team of the Season, sorry. Team of the Season works like this. Again, this could change, but usually there is a North American, a European, and like a community one. And it's essentially a full team. So think of like Stars of the Month. It's a full team of cards that act like Team of the Year. So this is based on their performance from October until April, or whenever Team of the Season is, instead of the calendar year like Team of the Year. And the way that you get them is exactly like Team of the Year. Either you pay the full price of an exceptional amount of collectibles that'll cost you roughly around 700 to 1,000,000 coins in value, or if you have a master set player, that will knock down the price, but it is a almost exact cost to upgrade the master set player to the discount you're going to receive from the event. So just keep that in mind. We've just launched an NFL 24 player ratings higher or lower game and would love to see you play it. We challenge you to score in double figures. Oh, categories. I actually saw that you guys made an NHL one. Oh, that would be interesting to play. We might have to do that on stream. Should I put Matthews 94, Power Up Icon, Gretzky on my first line with McDavid, Team of the Year, Howe, Power Up Icon? I am noticing more with Matthews. I just do. I think with Gretzky, you have to have Unstoppable Force and Elite Edges activated. Matthews, you could just use Quick Draw, or not even if you don't want to. And he's still great. But they're both fantastic. Hey, Sleeves, what's the highest overall you think Fantasy Chikrin card will hit this year? Man, Ottawa just doesn't utilize him correctly. They went so long before the coaching change of like not using him correctly on the power play. It's so hard, man. With defensemen, he shoots a ton. So I would say he settles in at 94. Hey, Sleeves, your content has been invaluable in getting me up to speed in the game as a free-to-play player. I started around Team of the Year, and figuring out everything has been tough. As a newer player, I'm very limited in the number of power-up players I can upgrade, and I'd like some advice on who to upgrade with my limited power-up collectibles. Is it normal to prioritize upgrading the X Factor players I have over the event players, even if the event players are currently better than when maxed out? For instance, Solani is great, but he's now third line behind Barzal and Panarin, my favorite player. I feel like the non-refundable power-up collectibles I spend on him were wasted compared if I had spent them on X Factor Quinn Hughes or X Factor Makar, who may be in my lineup for the rest of the game, and I haven't yet been able to upgrade past 88, 89. How much better are the best event players compared to good X Factors? So, X Factor cards, almost all of them are worse than their event cards. So, trying to think of a good example here. Let's use. I don't want to use Solani. I would upgrade, if you were going to play for the rest of the year, upgrading your X Factors are more important because eventually they will pass them. You got to be prepared to have them in your lineup for the rest of the game, though. That's what I'd recommend. As a free-to-play player, that focuses on squad battles due to horrible ping. Do I upgrade Vince Dunn X Factor or just buy his new card every time on release? For reference, I am a Kraken fan, not necessarily Dunn. Let's see. Vince Dunn's X Factor has what? Seeing Eye, Thunder, whatever his best card is. He doesn't have abilities that really set him apart. How about JT with the Hattie and a loss? Almost 99 now, though now a matter of days. And you know I got to mention them Rangers, obviously envious of you would have been a blast. Thanks for the content, my guy. No, yeah, man. Maze Jolt says, hey, hello, hope all is good. So question, for us with God Squads, is it worth making Hamilton? I like I have X Factor Doughty at 98. Isn't worth upgrading to 99. I agree. Team of the Year, Makar and Salo. I'm thinking that at some point you need to trade in Salo and or Robinson for the 96 team builders. And you can teach attributes, but you can't teach size. And 6'6", 230 with decent speed is almost end game good. And since D2Ds aren't that good, you would rock 4 right-handed defensemen on your team. I wouldn't do that because even though you can't use, one-timers as effectively from the point, you can still cut in at the slot. Like, on top of that, when you go to pocheck things like that, like, it could throw you off when you're defending. I mean, you have every good card in the game, and Hamilton is better than Salo. I don't think you need to because, like, on the left, there's so many good left-handed defensemen as well. Hey, slaves, I've got 420,000 coins, along with a team that can't really be improved by making or buying any cards. Should I invest in power-up collectibles or preparing for the 96 team builders? Not sure what to do, looking for some advice. Thanks, love the content. If you have basically beaten the game, you could save, 87s, 88s, 89s for team of the season, I guess. It's still so early, and I wouldn't recommend it, but if you've got everything and you've beaten the game, then yeah. Hello, slaves. I need your advice for my lines. McKinnon, Gretzky, McDavid, Kucherov, Matthews, Solani. I would flip these two, but a lot of people say that Gretzky is still the best, which is fine. All personal preference. I would also flip. I love Nash over Solani. Eichel, Mario, Knight, Arnott, Kachuk. Oh, you have next-gen Mario. Oh, Jesus. Bench, Hughes, Barzal, Madonna. I'm having trouble picking on who to play with and interested in trying some new lines with your suggestions. I would try Matthews on line 1. I would try Nash with Solani, or replacing Solani. And that's really where I would start. Hey, slaves, love the videos and all that you do for the community. Appreciate that, buddy. I'm in a difficult situation. I currently have untradeable 92 Star of the Month Matthews, but I'm really liking the new 94 Matthews card. The stats when they are both at 92 are way different. What are your thoughts? Should I stay with the 92 or make the 94 and wait for the 92 trade-in set? That's tough. That is very tough. The 92 trade-in set's not coming for like a month or two. You're waiting a long time. I still don't think the value... Oh, God, that Matthews is so good. I mean, if you're hut rich, go ahead. You keep mentioning you can't slap shot or one-time easily. Correct me if I'm wrong. They do work, but you just have to let go of waiting on the left joystick. Thanks again for the content. Yeah, it's awkward, and the bigger issue is that it's not automatic to get the one-timer clean. They catch and shoot a lot, and that ruins the one-timer. If you go back and play NHL 21 or even 22, a pass over to a D2D and flicking up before the puck gets there, automatic hard clapper. 23 and 24, they catch and shoot most of the time. Hey, sleeves, are you planning on expanding HUD hubs so we can also see prices and so on? Like, for example, FUTBIN for FIFA or Madden. Also, do you think Gretzky via the set is still available or still viable when I have Lemieux already, or should I see all the rewards and then buy them in a month or two? I would buy them. The cost to build them is way higher. It's not worth it. I buy them for like $500K. In terms of HUD Hub, yes, we are in talks with EA to try and get the HUD API. This is an EA thing, so it's not like a site hasn't developed it yet. the Hut market database is not public. So if we can get access to that, and hopefully over the next year we try, it will immediately be on HutHub and you will see the last sold price and everything like that. Hey everyone, what are your thoughts on theme teams? What's the limit for a player to qualify for a team? And do all of the cards have to have the appropriate logo, numerous seasons? What's a gameplay minimum? Cheers. Well, I think the thing about theme teams is they can be whatever you want them to be. In my opinion, I think that it is cards that, here's what I constitute a theme team. I did this in MLB last year with the Red Sox. Has to be either current Red Sox players. You want as many players on the current roster or let's say Sharks, because when you're watching, you want it to be, here's what you want a theme team to be. You want your theme team to be a entertainment value that makes you want to watch the real thing or vice versa. So you want as many current players on the team as possible that are usable online if you're an online player. After that, I like only using alumni that I liked. So for example, I'll use the Red Sox. Like Cy Young or Babe Ruth or whoever, like guys that I wasn't alive to see, even all the way up into like the 80s and 90s. I'll use the Sharks. Let's use the Sharks. Owen Nolan. Owen Nolan is a famous Shark. They called the All-Star goal on Hasek and all of that. I was not a Sharks fan until the year he was traded. So Nolan does nothing for me. So while he is a Shark and a very famous one, he's not on my theme team, even though he would be a good card to put on a Sharks theme team. That's how I look at it. But in Hut, it's very hard to make teams like that, unless you're like Oilers or Noah Dobson. I have Jack Hughes, Rasmus Anderson, and Suzuki X Factor all at their base level. Should I re-roll these in hopes of Doughty or Makar or hang on to them? If I hang on to them, who should I start powering up? Suzuki for sure. Rasmus Anderson, I'm waiting for 2 more goals. His skating is kind of low at with the cost point. If he gets 2 more goals and his skating bumps up a little bit, then okay, we're good to go. Jack Hughes is going to get a team of the season card, so it's safe to upgrade him now for the next month, and then you will basically get the same value when you trade him in, so that's something to think about. That's going to do it for this episode of Who Should You Choose? Thank you guys again for watching. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.